What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bitcast 80. This week, I'm joined by Dan, The Rock Rodriguez. I don't know why he's The Rock, he just is this week.
Yeah.
And, of course, Burr, South of the Border Signs. Before we even get started today, I just want to take a quick moment to thank you guys, you listeners. We are seeing listens on our podcast and Bitcast up every week, and we're getting good views on YouTube on some of the new things we posted, and we actually passed 500,000 views yesterday. So a nice milestone for the channel. And I just want to give a quick shout out and thank you to all of you guys who enjoy the content. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the news, guys. So we'll start today with more on the whole Sony kind of reorg thing we were touching on last week. This week, we learned that Herman Holst, who was the vice president of Guerrilla Games, makers of Horizon Zero Dawn, and before that, Killzone, he's now been named the head of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios. So you might remember that Shuhei, who we've talked about before as well, Yoshida, was the longtime head of that, and he has been moved now to just the head of indie studio management. So more of that kind of shift around since Jim Ryan took over that we talked on last week. I don't think this is exceedingly negative in any regard. It's just more of, moving those resources around and I guess preparing for the PlayStation 5. So I just wanted to mention this. I don't think we really, there's much to really touch on too much here, but anything you guys want to add?
I guess I'll go. I think it's cool. I mean, Guerrilla Games has kind of had a lot of up and down roller coaster moments for me. I mean, there's some things that I've loved about Guerrilla Games and other things I haven't cared for too much. I'd be interested to see what he does and what kind of talent Sony saw in him to put him in that position. Because I was pretty much expecting someone else that already had that, CEO type experience from a bigger company besides just one of the developers that is kind of smaller. So at the moment, I don't really have much of a judgment on it. I just think it's a big move. It's kind of weird to see Shu kind of demoted or moved to another position after being in that severe leadership role. That doesn't usually happen in big companies, and even less in companies of Sony size. So kind of a surprise. I'm once again reserving judgment until I see more.
I think, I don't know if it's really a demotion. I think that's more of a strategic move because, a lot of people and developers, indie developers, have complained in the past about how Sony has handled their, indie studios.
They kind of went backwards in this generation.
Right.
They started strong and then...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So moving Shu over there, it brings the name recognition and a guy that, obviously knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. This could be awesome for Sony. Just going to have to wait to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we've talked about that before. It's like Xbox and PlayStation were on different arcs there where, Xbox came out of the gate in 2013 poorly pretty much all around.
Yeah.
And their indie studios were not doing too well, which is why they created ID at Xbox, which has been a boon. And then Sony went the opposite direction. So interesting. It's just weird to see Shuhei, who is, very, very well known and loved among the community, moved out of that role. But regardless, hopefully it's a good thing. So a good thing for sure, in Segue, is that the Halo series is finally heading to production. So this was posted about yesterday, that the early reads are done, the cast is ready, and that initial shooting is going to begin in Budapest later this month. So previously they announced that this show is supposed to debut in early 2021, and this is on Showtime, of course. And they chose to wait for this announcement yesterday, as we're recording anyway, which was the 15-year anniversary of when Halo 2, also known as the greatest of all time, released. So, this was a little special to me. Halo 2, some of my favorite memories of all time, but pretty cool. Obviously, it goes without saying, I'm super excited for this. I just really, really hope they don't mess it up. But given what we're seeing out of things like Witcher and some of the high production value shows we see on these services now, I think that it's in capable hands, and 343 is heavily involved as well. So, pretty cool, guys. I'm pumped.
It's been a long time coming, man.
Long
for sure.
time.
I'm ready to see it. I know it's, probably 2-3 years out, but you know what? We'll see what happens. 2021? Yeah,
2021, first quarter is what they said.
Yeah, all right.
That's not too far.
That's not... Yeah, no, not for, shooting a, however long the series is going to be.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see what they do, man, for sure.
It should be 117 episodes.
Nice. I see what you did there. I'm not going to even get excited until I actually see a trailer for it.
Hey!
This thing has been delayed so many damn times. It's been in pre-production so many times. There's been so many big names attached to it so many damn times. I'll get excited when I see a trailer. However, I am excited to see that it is moving further than past iterations of whatever this is going to be. So I just really want to see something good. Please don't screw this up. Please don't screw this up. I think they can screw it up, and I think there's a higher chance they're going to screw it up than it's going to be awesome. So excited.
I'm changing this to Bert the Wet Blanket signs.
That's true. It is 100% true. There's too many video game things that get screwed up by production companies, TV channels like HBO or Showtime or Cinemax, and Netflix has ruined many comics for me. So, whatever.
Yeah. Did you say Skinemax or Cinemax?
I mean, I'm all about Skinemax.
What you got to do is you got to get it to where you get the antenna pointing in a. You got to do it where you get like an antenna pointed in a certain area where you can barely see something show up. You know, you got to kind of catch that little something. That's what you have to do.
Channel 99. All right.
That's right.
And on that front, Witcher TV show, which we know is coming December 20th, we learned this week that it is already planned for 7 seasons, so getting us even more excited. Now, it's not confirmed for 7 seasons. Bert looked this up just a short while ago. But it's planned for that. So as long as it gets the viewership, which on Netflix, Witcher, I have to believe it will, especially as good as it looks. We should be pretty excited about this one, taking over for the next several years, which is awesome.
Yeah, the content's there. Let's just hope it's good. I mean, I guess we'll probably see Ciri maybe grow up a little bit, maybe in front of those 7 seasons, and other characters that have not been in that trailer that we've seen so far. Will show up, a lot of favorites, so I hope it makes it. Please watch the show if it's good, and please don't screw that one up either.
Or take that blanket elsewhere.
No kidding, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm ready for it.
Bring it on?
It's going to be Bringing It On, yes, in December, and it's going to be one day. We'll probably watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm going to have to let my wife and my mom, who will be here at the time, know that that day is Witcher Day, and bank on it.
Yep.
That's Witcher
Day.
Day.
All right, so Witcher Day. So later this week, maybe as you're listening to this, Xbox is having their huge event in London, XO19. So, we didn't see any kind of big events out of the major company, Nintendo and Sony, later this year, but this one's been planned for a while. Supposed to be a big thing. I think we're trying to keep realistic expectations here because, as usual, when they have shows like this, I think some people get a little too excited and think it's going to be E3 2, But regardless, it's still going to be a lot of fun. It's November 14th to 16th. Just to give you an update on the exact times here, on November 14th, the actual Inside Xbox show for the world begins on 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern or noon Pacific, and that's Thursday the 14th. And then they're going to have programming all day on the 15th as well, including titles like Wasteland 3, Bleeding Edge, stuff from Obsidian and Rare, and a couple other things they said are redacted, so I would presume, people coming in.
Yes.
No, they're not showing Fable. Don't even see. You're doing the opposite of what I just said.
I'm not trying. I just want to see it for God's sake.
It's not coming. This don't do it. No.
Do something, man.
Well, they said 12 Xbox Game Studio titles, including new reveals. That's what they said.
So it could be Fable.
It's not going to be Fable. Relax.
It could be.
It'll probably be something indie based.
Yeah, or it's not going to be Fable. Yeah. Anyway,
Oxenfree 2.
They're going to talk more about xCloud. I think they said xCloud's going to be coming to more markets and devices soon. Things like that. So anyway, it should be exciting if nothing else. It's always fun to get a game show from one of the major companies and just see new stuff. So I'm excited for it. Just wish it wasn't during the work week. I hate that.
Well, I don't work, so I will be watching this Jesus. And hopefully getting some free Mixer swag. I'm certain they'll have it up there. More importantly...
Can you log in as me as you watch?
Yeah, I'm going to be getting my hands on that controller that is, a 1,000 limited edition...
The more people you tell, the lower your chances.
It's not going to matter. I'm ready to go. I'm going to be loaded up. I'm going to have hardline into Google Fiber. My refresh is going to be outstanding. It's going to be nuts. I've been practicing. So
I've been ordering controllers from all over the world.
I did, actually. I got one coming in this week, Star Wars. But yeah, I mean, I want to see some new stuff. I do. I mean, I know we need to temper our expectations. I know this isn't E3, but they've got these studios. We can at least just say, hey, this is what we're working on. I don't care. Just give me a little bit of something to hold on to.
So the rumor is that Compulsion Games, We Happy Few developers, they were working on another project for a couple years now already, and that they may show up, because we haven't really heard out of them hardly at all since We Happy Few came out. They've released DLC for it, but yeah, so we'll see. And they did post the other day on Twitter with just like the little eye emoji over XO19, so we'll see. It's not Fable, though.
It's not Fable. All right.
Well, I've had the wet blanket on from the beginning of the episode, and I'm not going to take it off just yet. I'm not going to take it just off yet, but so what I will say is the bar is really damn low right now with how poor Inside Xbox has been the last few. It has to be. It has to be better than that. So, one game that I keep going back to is not necessarily that I keep going back to that I want to see something on is Last Light. So this game has not been officially canceled or anything. Give me another teaser for it or something, just another trailer with some awesome music or something. Maybe that. I mean, that's a smaller ID game, so it's not a big game. So maybe something like that. But if it's another Inside Xbox type thing, but this time with a massive fan base that's going to cheer no matter what they say, it'd be like, okay. I mean, I'm in my mental mind right now. I'm kind of like, this is the end of the generation. I'm not going to expect anything else that's big. So let's just kind of have some fun with it. But some of the presentations have just been poor. Maybe take something like the Sony route and just do it once every 6 months or something versus this quarterly or even monthly presentation. Because at this point, it's just kind of like, why are we doing this anymore? So much money going into this thing for nothing. So
yeah, the last Inside Xbox was really poor. I think we talked about that. I personally, I don't like state of play either. So I want something kind of in between.
Yeah, the only reason I got through that is because of us. So I wouldn't have finished watching that if I didn't.
Because I don't have to listen to people talk.
See, I like hearing from devs. I don't like the host.
No, the host just completely ruin it.
I like hearing from devs.
Xbox guys over there doing that stuff. You're terrible.
They're nice people.
Yeah.
I met a few of them. They're good people.
Yeah, but they're not good at their job.
They're set up for failure.
That's what it is. Yep. All right. Anyway, well, we'll see what happens. Good point on Last Light, Bert. I hadn't even thought about that game in like 6 months. I know I will never forget that style game. On it. Yeah, I know, and it looks fantastic. But we need to know what Tim Surrey's doing over there. The other one that they showed at E3, they posted on Twitter for the first time I saw in a while last week, was 12 minutes. Oh, yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that looked really cool at E3, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see more of that. Who knows?
Same thing with with Elden Ring as well. I mean, I know it's not an Xbox exclusive, but they kind of had it on the big stage. Maybe something more from that game, even though I'm not going to buy it. I love the art style and it's going to be cool. So show something.
Better be better than Sekiro. The more I think back on Sekiro, the more disappointed I get. But anyway. All right, so Star Wars. It's about to get big in the Star Wars land with, what's the movie called? Rise of the Skywalker?
Yeah,
Rise of Skywalker, okay.
Well, come on.
Yeah. Rise of Skywalker. So we've got Battlefront 2 still going strong. I think with all the changes they've made and updates, that definitely has a dedicated community. And they did announce that Rise of the Skywalker DLC is going to be coming in December to Battlefront 2 to kind of accompany the game. Now, if you remember, they did actually add some Last Jedi stuff a couple years ago when the game first launched, including the actual map from the Salt Flats it looked like from the movie, it was really cool. It looked just like the movie. So we'll see what this looks like, but pretty cool. I actually might want to jump back into this game. It's a lot of fun, actually, when you get into it.
Yep. Yeah, you have to kind of jump into it pretty hard. It's not a game that you can just pick up and start playing out of nowhere. Like maybe a Call of Duty, it's just the same thing every game. This game's a bit different. It's a bit deeper. The classes are different. I have actually heard that there's more people playing now than there was in the first year that the game released, so that's kind of interesting. And the other thing that's interesting as well about this game is you got to keep in mind the movie does not come out until December 20th. So I wonder what sort of things are going to come out in the DLC that they can show, and maybe a few things after that. Maybe a villain, maybe a vehicle, maybe a map or something that they're not going to show us until then. But the last thing I saw on it is that it's the first week of December that the DLC is coming out. So excited to see it. I'm back on the Star Wars train after the last trailer. Little tear came down after I saw it in the theater. So the wet blanket is off. I'm happy again.
Until we get to the later parts.
Wet blankets off. It helped him grow an eggplant.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah, I mean, I'm super pumped for anything Star Wars usually. So, you got this, you got Fallen Order, you got the controller, you got all kinds of the movie. Obviously, I already got my
Mandalorian.
tickets. Mandalorian's coming out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I am excited
This
about
week,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get super excited for Star Wars stuff, but I saw the trailer this week and I was like, it actually looks pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I don't want to subscribe to Disney though.
It's like $6.
Oh, I don't care. It's Disney. I don't.
I've already
So,
signed up.
I'm going wet blanket. I took Bert's wet blanket. I'm going to borrow
there
it.
you go. It has been transferred.
It
Hey Dan, on the Star Wars controller, I've seen pictures of it from the top, but is this just the standard controller with the skin, or does it have any of the soft grip on the back or the texture trigger or triggers?
I'm assuming it has at least the grip.
Okay.
Those are kind of standard anymore with anything they release. I don't think it's like a sticker on it or anything. I'm pretty sure it's just.
They usually do better than that.
Yeah, I've never seen one like that. So I won't know until I get it in my hands. But I got that and the charging stand coming, so that's technically Christmas. So I might just take it out and then wrap the box up. It's one of those things that I've always wanted to have one of those Star Wars controllers. I really like the PS4 one that came out, but I never got my hands on it. So this is just as good. I may never use it. That might actually happen. So we'll see.
Looks like
happens.
it's going to be with the better game too, so that's good.
That might be.
I still have yet to use my Gears controller. It's still in the package, all looking brand new. So I'm kind of weird
one?
about that. Yeah, the Kate.
Yeah, I've never used it either. It's just sitting on my shelf.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so this is kind of a fun one, and I won't say leaked because some of the stuff has been out there already, but a user named James Sigfield is going to be kind of spreading today, and as you're listening to this, because he started posting on Twitter some of the WB Games things around Superman. So we've heard lots of rumors around Superman games for the past few years. Turns out, according to him anyway, that a lot of these are true, that people still under NDA, but that WB Games has been trying to create a Superman game since 2013. They had a game in 2013 that didn't get green-lighted, just concept art, and then they did have a game tentatively called Superman Unbound in 2014 that was going to be developed on the Arkham engine, and it would take place in a city called Kandor, which was created by Brainiac. But according to some of the things he said is that the engine proved problematic, especially for the flying mechanics, and that it never really kind of made it past pre-production. But they continue to try and figure out a way to bring a Superman game to reality. So that's going back 6 years now, which is kind of crazy, and we still haven't seen anything from it. So I just found this interesting. I thought, of course, you two guys know way more about this stuff than I do, but I know we've talked about the potential for a Superman game and wondering why it hasn't been made yet, and it just seems kind of strange that they're saying they want to make one, but they can't. That seems really odd to me.
You know why they can't make it? I mean, just in my opinion, because I don't know what they do. I mean, with Batman, he's grounded in more reality. He's a guy he's just rich and has cool stuff. Superman's pretty damn powerful, so I'm not sure how that would work as far as like leveling up or enemies, because like you couldn't just throw like a stormtrooper or something at him, like some kind of just regular dude, because he would just melt them in like 2 seconds. So I just never understood. I mean, I'm not a huge Superman fan, but at the same time, if they could pull it off, it might be cool. I just don't know what they would do. If they're trying like an open world kind of thing, I just don't see it.
Yeah, apparently the concept, from what he said, apparently the concept in 2013 was an open world game, kind of like Spider-Man, where you'd be able to fly around and do stuff. That wasn't greenlit. And then Unbound was going to be a little more contained in that city, not fully open world. But he would fight people like Darkseid and Brainiac. So
yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't know how they do it.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe they don't know what to do from a gameplay perspective.
I think that might be it.
Yeah, my quick comment on this. So really quick, there was an entire comic arc that was called Superman Unbound, and it is the fight against Brainiac, and Brainiac tricks Superman. And
was it an animated series too, Bert? Because they mentioned that it was
based
on
actually
the comic and animated series.
They did. So first of all, DC Comics, DC is it DCEA or DC Animation Studios, by the way, are the best animated comic stories around. Marvel does really great movies, like, you know, live action, but their actual animation movies are horrible, whereas DC is known more for their animation, and there is one called Superman Unbound, and it is based off the same thing, of Brainiac kind of taking this thing. And one of the interesting things is Supergirl is in that story as well, so they kind of tag team to kind of take down Brainiac, and it's done really, really well. To Dan's point, I think everybody struggles with really good Superman content, and that's why the majority of the movies that we see are his origin story, because there you can put a story together, how he became Superman, etc., and then the struggles of becoming pretty much, you know, a god. Whereas the movies in between, you don't really see good ones, and that's why even the Christopher Reeve movies are horrible after maybe 1 and 2. Because it's exactly that. He's just too powerful. A good one that I would like to see live action or even in a game is the Doomsday story, how he dies pretty much, because that's the only time he's ever died. Unless you go into the... I could get really nerd with you on Superman, but I'm not going to. But there is some story arcs.
At the end of... What do you call it, right? Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah, they tried to do it with that, and that... Don't even get me started on the ending of that. However, you got to watch the unrated and the uncut version. It's a lot better than the standard one. I actually like Dawn of Justice in some areas, but Doomsday was ruined. But yeah, I've seen this story about Superman Unbound for a long time. Some of the concept art that they released, or that is leaking out, was some of the stuff that was back on 4chan and 8chan whenever those stupid leaks came out. The same way the new Batman game has been rumored for so long. But I would struggle to see how that game could be made. I think it's such a hard story to tell, and from a gameplay perspective, it's so hard to put together into a single game like Batman.
Yeah, it's a struggle. I think it could be really fun having that kind of power at your fingertips in a video game form, but
right.
I don't know what the objective would be to what your guys' point. Anyway, all right.
Superman 64, best game ever made.
Sorry, Bert, go ahead.
Nothing. All I said is Superman 64, best game ever made.
Yeah. We should do a Let's Play of that. Backseat gaming. I'm not playing. Dan, you can play.
Not it.
All right.
Great.
All right, we got a rumor this week, which was kind of interesting. Not really a rumor, but just something notable, is that Blue Point Games, so if you're not familiar with Blue Point Games, they're the ones who've done some of the excellent remasters this generation for the PlayStation 4, like Shadow of the Colossus. They have job listings up right now where they they note that they're making games for the next generation of consoles, which they've never really said before. They've kind of been almost like a second party in a way for Sony and the PlayStation. So this is just notable because they said to have something kind of big in the works for next gen already, and it would be notable if it was coming to Scarlet as well as PS5. So kind of cool, as we always say here. We love just more people getting to play good games. So if, from a second-party perspective, if they were going to start putting their games on all consoles and even PC, that could be a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah, not really all that bad. I just thought it was interesting.
I hope it's a good one, and not something bad like Medieval was. I mean, Medieval was kind of like, all right, you spent all that time, all that marketing on this remake or whatever, and then it's just kind of meh. I do want a real good remake of something. I'm one of those people that,
this,
you know...
Bert? On the spot, why don't we pick a game that we'd like to see them redo?
It's a good question, because I'm not a big retro gamer, so I know a lot of people love retro gaming. I know it's like the thing to do now. I'm kind of like bring on the new stuff. I've played those games so many times in the past, and I think it's good, but I like moving into the future. I have a really hard time going back unless it's like a multiplayer game with somebody. But I need to think about that one. Dan, give me like a minute while Ains answers that question. Boom, right back at you.
It was on the spot, not on the minute.
Yeah, on the minute.
I know we've always talked, not always, but we've talked several times of like Parasite Eve. We'd love to see that come back.
Oh man,
that's a Squaresoft Eve property, right? I think I have no idea. I don't know. I one of the ones I was thinking about recently, and this wouldn't be up Blue Point's alley, I don't think. But a game I would love to see really redone is Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2, the early Silent Hills.
Ooh.
I really want that IP to come back. I think if you think about how scary those games were for being on a PS1, what they could do nowadays, or especially with Scarlet and PS5, would just be truly incredible. And you saw things, Silent Hills kind of started to get people excited. PT, obviously, just things like that. That's really what I want to see. But I don't know what Blue Point would work on. They're more kind of the bigger scale adventure type stuff. What am I forgetting? They did Shadow of the Colossus. They did one other huge one this generation. I can't remember what it was now.
It wasn't Ratchet and Clank, was it? Ratchet and Clank, I think, was actual Insomniac that redid it.
With a giant dog? What the hell was that game?
Giant dog?
Like,
No, Last Guardian.
Last Guardian,
No.
yeah.
Go ahead, Bert. You answer and I'll look it up while you're doing that.
Yeah, so you got me thinking on Parasite Eve there. So I love Parasite Eve. There was another Square game, was Vagrant Story. Vagrant Story was an awesome game that came out at the end of the PlayStation 1 generation, and I'd love to see that remade. I think you have to actually maybe just go to that generation where it was the PlayStation 1, and I guess it was 64 at the time as well. Or maybe even bring something back from the Sega Saturn's life. That would be really cool. I don't know. I just, like I said, there's so many games that could be made with imagination, and constantly repeating the past gets old after a while, but I don't mind one after a while. I mean, playing Link's Awakening was a pleasant surprise. I never thought that a Game Boy game could be remade in today's world, and they did it and then some. So maybe they have something nice and surprised.
Nice. So they did Shadow of the Colossus. They did Gravity Rush Remastered. They also are the ones who did the Nathan Drake collection. Okay. And in the past, they did the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus collection for PlayStation 3, which might have been what you were thinking of as well. Blue Point Games, Bert, they are based in Austin.
Yep.
What?
Yep,
Why don't you go
that
there
is
and
true.
talk to him? Tell him to make another Parasite Eve.
Yeah. I'll let you know how that works out.
100%. Yeah, let me know.
Pretty cool. All right. Let's talk about current stuff. So, guys, the Elite Controller 2 is out. Bert has his video up on our channel. If you've not checked it out, a nice, very in-depth look at the controller and how it's, how it's built, its comparison to the first one, the known problems with the first one, how they addressed it. So definitely check that out if you hadn't. Personally, guys, I've been using it, obviously, for a little while now, and it's just fantastic. I got it finely tuned to how I like, and I have no qualms whatsoever about saying it's the best controller I've ever used. I wish you could just use it for everything, to be honest. I wish I could use it on the Switch and PS4. And PS4, I guess you can with adapters and stuff, but you know what I mean.
You can do it on the Switch with like an $8 8-bit dough.
That's what I'm saying. Adapters, I can
go grab one.
I think I'm going to do that.
I got 2 of them. What do you think, Bert?
So love it. I mean, what negative thing can you say about it? It's first of all, that video is epic. I gotta mention.
It was.
I'm just kidding.
Luckily, you left a wet blanket at home when you filmed it.
Yeah, that's right. One thing I will say that has still blown me away, I mentioned it to you guys, is the battery life is just stupid. I had it fully charged. Funny enough, I was doing the video, and then before that it had just finished being fully charged, and I've played through all of Outer Worlds with it, and I'm not even halfway depleting of the battery yet, and that's roughly 20 hours now. So in the past, regardless of what battery you were using, or batteries if you're using the rechargeable ones, I could never get more than 14, 15 hours out of it, and that was if I'm lucky. Turning rumble off and stuff like that. So, but the feel, it's so grippy. That's another thing that's kind of weird, regardless of what I've done in the day, or maybe I just finished doing dishes or getting ready for whatever. It's so grippy when it's in your hands, and that's just really cool. And I've grown to like the round joystick quite a bit. So
yeah, the 360 pad is nice. I love the tension joysticks too. I've got it like really tight on the right side with the tall one for playing a lot of Modern Warfare, and it's just, man, it's awesome.
Yep. It's just, I can't say really anything bad about it. Like, the one critique that I had in my video was the lack of interchangeability with the sticks. So if you liked some of the sticks that you had on the first one, you can't use them at all. And if you spent any time upgrading anything on your original Elite, you can't use anything outside of the rear paddles. So, and the D-pad. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I don't have anything to say about it. I think it's a good price considering the competition as well. I mean, considering an Astro controller is $200 and that thing's a piece of crap, it's weird to consider a first-party controller being so much higher quality than that, and then being like, I'm buying that. So,
yep.
I don't know.
Well, one of the nice things is that you can use it, on your PC too, now wirelessly.
Yeah,
instead of the
Bluetooth.
Elite.
Use it with xCloud.
Yes, you can. I haven't done that yet. I will borrow that wet blanket for just a moment. Here's my couple issues with it. I love the controller. I love the tensions. I love the, once you actually showed me how to work that software.
Yeah, I showed Dan how to set it all up. It makes
a huge difference. Because I was always confused about it. The issue I have, with the grips, they slip. or they're like super tacky sometimes. Like I'm looking, like, did I just eat a donut? My fingers keep sticking to it for some reason, and I don't know what it is.
Do you like condense a lot in your hand?
I'm not
they get
really. Sweaty? I don't get super sweaty, but I don't like necessarily those grips on the front, the grippy part on the front. It's fine, I guess, but I mean that's really kind of been bothering me a little bit. But as far as like the interchangeability, that also kind of sucks. To Bert's point, I'm not sure why they went with that different. When you could just pull the old ones off. I've got so many.
The thumbsticks.
Yeah,
probably something to do with the tension size they had to use.
Yeah, they look exactly the same. But and also like Bert said also in his video, the lack of like kind of a mid-sized stick. So I've kind of countered that with using Control Freaks. Short of that, it's an excellent controller. Definitely worth the money. I would say if you gave me the Elite and then you gave me the Elite V2, I would probably go with the V2 just because of all the extra options. With the extra tension, with the extra settings for the triggers. I do like the 360 thumbsticks, but I also you can't put my Control Freaks on there
because it's too wide,
right? But you can with the regular size ones; they still fit, and you have no issues. So it's definitely, I think, worth the price. As far as like if you've got the Elite already and you need to wait a little bit, you can probably wait a little bit. Because the Elite is still an amazing controller, especially the newer version of it. I haven't had any issues with that one either. I would, part of me wanted to buy, another one. I already bought two. I gave one to my son. I almost wanted to buy another one. It's slick too, and I think it's it looks like almost a little bit smaller, just if you look at it. And one more thing, I still need that charging deal where I can sit my controller to display it nice and prominently. I love that stuff. I love it. I mean, I don't want it sitting down there. You see how it looks stupid. It was laying down on my thing, and I was like, look at all these other nice controllers all propped up. I'm sure they'll come out with something like that, though.
Probably.
That's just a matter of time. Third party or something. I did watch a teardown of it. Mm-hmm. He broke it as he tried to take the front faceplate off. Because you can take that front part off, but there's like a whole bunch of clips.
Sure.
And I was like, yep, that's never going to happen. But I was just wondering, if you could do it for the battery, issue. If it ever ran out or, because once it's done, it's done, I know you guys maybe like the internal batteries. I've never been a fan of them just because eventually they're going to wear out eventually, and then that basically leaves you with, unless you're savvy enough to take it apart. I just don't like that. I just buy rechargeables. And I'm fine with that. I've got so many freaking batteries.
I've run a battery pack in my Elite One for years now. Yeah. And I always said I don't know what the complaints were with internal battery because it'll function the exact same way if you want it to.
Yep. And they got little stands you can sit them on. They just charge and you're done.
But I do love, to Bert's point, I do love the quality of the battery. And
it's for sure.
Fantastic.
It's nuts. That's nuts.
And the little puck's awesome because I just put it up on my shelf now, right in front of my Xbox. Every time I'm done, I just plop it right on there. I don't have to worry about wires or anything. It just sits there.
That's cool. Fantastic.
So, all right. Cheers. So if you haven't checked out Bert's video, do that. Like I said, it's definitely worth it if you're thinking about upgrading. So, and I also heard, I have not confirmed, but I did see some people saying that GameStop is taking the Elite One. So if you have like an old beat up one, even if it's beat up, they're giving you $60 for it.
Yep.
And I think $70 if it's the white one.
Yep.
$60 for the original. So that's not bad. I mean, you can't really sell them for that much nowadays, especially if they're older and beat up. So maybe something for you guys who have them laying around.
Yeah, and screw GameStop. Get some money, man. Get paid. Get paid for that thing.
All right, so we don't need to touch on this, but just as you're listening to this, the two more of the major releases this fall are coming out this Friday: Pokemon Sword and Shield and Jedi Fallen Order, which are supposed to be two big games as well. So the games just never stop, as we knew this fall. But this is kind of the tail end now. We're getting there. So if you're excited for Pokemon or Jedi Fallen Order, you guys picking these up? I actually have both pre-ordered. I don't know why I have Pokemon pre-ordered. I think I got it for like $20-some because of all the bonuses I had. So I will try it, but I'm not confident I'm going to get into it. Jedi, on the other hand, I think I'm going to really love.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do not Death Stranding. What am I thinking here? Jedi Fallen Order. I'll be doing the 10-hour trial first from EA Access. If I like it, I'll probably pick it up.
Idea.
Good call.
Yeah.
If I don't care for it, then I'll probably pass on it. But it does look really good, and the more I've seen of it, the more interested I am in it. Initially, I was kind of like, it's another Star Wars game, whatever. But as it's coming out, it's looking really cool.
Yep. Don't put the wet blanket away now. Keep it away.
Yeah, you can have it.
While you're in there, EA Access, you might as well download Anthem too. See how it's going. See how the updates have been. Get some time in with it.
Yeah. Maybe these guys can call Anthem up and figure out how to fly. With Superman, the Superman game.
Like you guys got one thing right. Let's borrow that. All right. So speaking of Death Stranding, which Bert just mentioned, which has been all the news this week, of course. So we talked about it last week. Reviews came out. Kind of seems very divisive. Dan, for us, is the only one playing, and I just have no interest in playing this game, which is fine. But Dan, you wanted to check it out. So not a review. Just figured, we'll start with our currently playing with this, since you're the one playing, and I just wanted to hear from you your thoughts so far. So first off, how much time do you have in it so far?
If I were, it's almost at the point where I'm guessing, I'm probably 10 to 15 hours in.
Okay.
I would say I'm maybe 20% through the game.
It's supposed to be a big game.
Yeah,
right?
It's a big game.
Okay. I've heard that the first 5-6 hours are really kind of like there's cutscenes, to get you into it, and then it's just kind of like you gotta.
It's a giant
push
tutorial. Through. Yeah, it's until you get to chapter 3, which the game kind of breaks open at that point. This is just kind of a, disclaimer. Just don't worry about the side missions. Don't do anything like that until you get to chapter 3. You start getting other stuff that kind of helps you through the game. So. I don't like Kojima. I still don't like Kojima. I think he is a pompous and big. I don't know. I don't want to say too much. He's full of himself. Mm-hmm. I watched a video yesterday, and the guy asked him, "Hey, what's the one thing that you're most proud of with this game?" And he said, "Oh, I have so many. I have so many things." So I've never liked the dude, and I put so many hours into Metal Gear Solid 5 and several of his other games. Because I really enjoyed the actual mechanics and the actual gameplay. Death Stranding is not what you see on the social medias, I'm guessing, because I left Twitter. But that's okay, because I basically have a game that is Twitter and a delivery thing and a walking simulator and a biking simulator. And this game, right now, if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 9, which is insane to say, but I'm also only 20% through. There is so much more than I think what people are seeing on social media sites. You get a lot of kind of either really super positive stuff, or you get, like you said, it's very divisive. You get a lot of the super negative stuff, and whatever you choose to focus on is going to be the game that you see. If you actually play it, it's like something I've never played. It's not like a new genre necessarily, which maybe he was going for, but all the mechanics inside of this game have just either not been done or not been done like this. The whole social asymmetrical multiplayer, which is perfect for me because I hate multiplayer games. This one, you don't have to interact with anybody really, is really, really cool. And it's like the best version of social media. Like, there's no negativity. It's all just like, hey, thanks for leaving that ladder there. Now I don't need to use mine. I can just use yours. So you throw a guy a like, you press your touchpad, and that actually, those likes actually translate into you leveling up your status, in the whatever it is. I think it's like a UCA or NCA or whatever it's called. And that plays a part in it. Now your deliveries and stuff also play the same part. It's just giving you the initial stuff here. So it's more than what you see. I will say that. This will probably be my longest review ever.
Okay.
Now, bear in mind, 20% through. This is Kojima. This is why I don't like him. I played through 70-something% of MGS5, and that last 30, I wanted to punch myself in the freaking face. I was like, they had such a good thing going, and then he Kojima'd it, and he just got super, super weird. And there's super weird stuff in here too, but it's just, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to keep going because I know what's going to happen probably, because he does it in every single game.
Yeah, one of the things I don't appreciate about the way he designs games is he almost tends to lose focus.
Yes.
Like he loses the plot for himself. And it just, like, it goes on too long.
Yes.
It's too drawn out. It tries to be too full of itself. And he's always been like that. All his games are like that.
That's my fear.
And that's why I've always struggled, because I don't appreciate that at all. Don't be long just to be long. Be meaningful.
Right.
And a lot of the stuff he does is not meaningful. At least in my
So
opinion.
Dan... Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, what happened in MGS5 is he didn't finish the game. So whatever you played, I'm not sure if you got to the end, but Konami forced him to just wrap it up, and because it had been delayed so many times because he was still working on it, that the game
that
was unfinished.
speaks to the point.
Yeah.
He loses focus.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this one is, there's so many things going on at once. They all work really well together so far. The traversal is not as bad as I think people are making it out to look at. Sure, yeah, there's times where you fall over and you're like, oh crap, I just dropped all this stuff and now I've got to, now this is worthless because it broke. I didn't realize when you fight people that you sometimes just grab random things on your back and smack them in the face with it and then break them. So that kind of made me mad too. There's several things that, I see where he's going, but I can also see where it could go, and I'm afraid of that spot. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna get through the main story. I'm gonna do some side missions, whatever it takes. I'm not enjoying the game because I really am. It's so far, which I am surprised at. But I'm afraid that it's gonna get really heavy-handed, really fast, and once that happens, it's gonna really hurt my experience. I'm expecting it, so I will be pleasantly surprised if he doesn't.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, cool. Yeah, I'll wait to hear from your review. I know you're putting a lot of time into it, but cool. Anyway, you've been mostly playing that. Playing anything else?
No.
Nope, just that.
Just that, pretty much.
All right. Bert, what have you been up to?
I'm actually getting really close to being done with Outer Worlds as far as the first playthrough goes. So I'm guessing are some of the ending missions. If not, it's going to open up massively. But I'm at hour 21 now, and it's been pretty good. There's some gripes I have with it, but it's been overall pretty much a fun game. And I think I mentioned to you guys, I'm glad we got this generation. So that way Mass Effect itch and Fallout itch are both scratched, because it kind of meets both of those really, really well. And then playing a lot of Modern Warfare multiplayer with you guys, so it's usually switching between those two for now. I did download Need for Speed, the new one, because the reviews are actually really good for it through EA Access. Another game that I will just give a try to see if it's any good, if I end up liking it. I might jump into that maybe even later on tonight after I finish Outer Worlds today. So that's on the radar.
Man. Yeah, so I'm playing pretty much the same as Bird. I'm on Outer Worlds and Modern Warfare. I am doing the review for Outer Worlds. I was traveling this week. Time has been extremely limited, so but I am plowing through it, and I'm spending a ton of time with it when I can because I want to see the variations of what it offers. One thing I discovered yesterday, I was doing a key mission, one of the key ones, and we talked about like reloading saves and seeing. And I finished this one key mission, and you can just move on after that. You can keep going. But I ended up doing an extra thing, and it led to like 4 more things. Like it just opened up this entire branch that I never would have seen, which was actually really interesting. And I thought to myself, God, how many times could you do this through the game where there's just different ways to complete things you never would have even thought of? So it's really, really interesting to me. I would say that in terms of the variation of how you can complete things and the impact it has on the game, this is stellar. I think beyond what Fallout and Mass Effect accomplished. So I think in that vein, it's really interesting to me. And so I'm taking my time with the review because I really want to experience all this stuff to really see what it has to offer. So that should be coming this week. I am... I'm right at the end. I'm at the mission where it basically says, do what else you need to do because you're about to finish the game. But I stopped and I went back and I'm doing other stuff. So anyway, Modern Warfare, still playing the hell out of it. It did have an update this week, so a new ground war map, a new standard multiplayer map, which is really good, called Shoot House. It's pretty much like it's much smaller and faster, and it's like reminds me of Shooting Range, very similar in that regard. So pretty neat. And then Luigi's Mansion 3. I know you already did the review, but I'm playing that on the side as well. And once I finish Outer Worlds, I'll have more time for that. Be playing that in Jedi, so pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, we are going to move on to good old Name That Game. And I am hosting that as well this week. And the game you will, I think, definitely get, but I definitely a little harder. So, because it's been way too easy for you guys lately. So, let me pull that up real quick.
That's what I need, harder.
And this is a game that we would have played or at least known about, right?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. It's yes. I just some of the history of it is interesting, and so I designed the questions that way on purpose.
Crap.
I'm gonna go with Vigilante 8.
Damn it! All right, we'll move on next week.
Yes. So yeah, that was it.
Anyway, how about that? All right. Bert went first last week as host. Dan, you want to go first this week?
Sure.
Okay. This title was released in April of 1996, and it's the first title in a long-running series. Double clue for you.
You didn't say
Got a lot of
I got
double
a-
clues.
I have a clue I'd like to ask.
Oh, right out of the gate.
Jeez.
Go for it.
Is this long-running series still running?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Go ahead, Dan.
96. You didn't say what console it was for, did you? And/or
I told you I switched it up. We got too complacent with our questioning. Made it more interesting.
All right. Well then, gosh, I shouldn't.
I said
I'm
questions
away.
again. I meant hints.
Hints. Right. Too complacent. Get out of my face.
Come on.
All right. Wipeout.
No. Good game, though. Good series. I still haven't played the VR
Okay.
one.
It makes me sick.
No, that's really cool. That's really cool. I tried it the other day.
Cool.
96 series still running. I'm gonna go with Tomb Raider.
Nice.
No, another good guess, but nope. All right. The developers were originally with the company IREM, who created titles like Gun Force and In the Hunt. And this title and the first 3 of the series were created under the corporation named Nazca.
Yeah. Phone a friend.
All right.
I'm really interested to hear what listeners think about this one, if they see if someone gets this before you guys do as we go through these.
Gosh, I got nothing. I'm gonna just throw something random out there. Mario Kart.
No, but they need to innovate in that realm.
It's true. Oh, if I know. 96 is the first release. Still going on today. Oh, gee, Merry Christmas. Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
2.
It's the first in the series, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yes.
No, I don't think that's how numbers
I knew it
work.
wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog, so I mean, I figured I'd just say 2 and see what happened.
All right, third hint here. The main antagonist is named General Donald Morgan,
Oh,
and he bears a
Donald
passing
Morgan.
resemblance to Saddam Hussein. And there are also aliens attempting to take over the Earth in this game, who are called the Mars people.
What the hell?
Jeez.
I'm having fun with this one.
This is not a game that I've played.
Yes, it is.
Is it? I got clue number 2 from Bert Tynes.
Okay.
Oh, geez, just throwing it out there.
Is it an RTS?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Was it released on multiple consoles?
Yes, I was getting to that, but yes.
Yeah, I figured you would. I was just trying to.
So Bert used his 2, you've used 1.
used
You got
one.
1 left.
Okay. Destroy all humans. I'm just throwing the alien one out there.
No.
What did you say, Dan? I didn't hear you right.
Destroy all humans. which is way later than that.
That's all
right. So really quick, I mean, this is not really a yes or no question, but you're looking for a specific title, right? Not a. Or are you looking for the franchise name?
Well,
maybe it's the same thing.
Yeah, it kind of is both, but it's the first title in the series.
Okay. StarCraft.
Nice. Nope. No, good guess. Trust me, this is 100%. This is not a Golgo 13 here. You got. All right. In the game, you use a wide array of weaponry. You have a melee attack, and there's a vehicle in it named the SV001.
Oh.
In the game, you attack people and drive a car. That's what you just
I have
said.
an idea of what it is, but I don't know. Is it still my guess?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Oh. Is it Red Faction?
Yeah, that was what. Yeah, that's your guess.
Damn, Bert. Damn. Yeah, it's Bert. No, it is not.
Oh.
The Mars people.
When that first game came out, man, God, I love that game. It's awesome.
What, Red Faction?
Yeah. The destructibility.
Yeah, I remember that. 96, first game, XCOM. That was 94.
That's okay. You said it's not an
plus
RTS.
Yeah. I'm just guessing the dumbest crap I can.
So, to your previous question, my next hint kind of touches this, but it may help a little bit. The series has a very large number of entries, including several sequels that have appeared on numerous consoles, handheld devices, PC, and even the arcade.
Oh, really? Cool. That's awesome.
This better be a game that I've played, not some random game that you guys have seen.
How many times can I say you guys will know this?
Oh, I'm sure it will. So I'm thinking, like Saddam Hussein, it's been on several consoles. It's been in the arcades.
Oh,
good.
No.
I'm glad you got it, 'cause I have no clue.
No, I take it back. No.
Bert was about to do his famous I got it.
Yeah, I mean, just come on, please. Shit. 96. I don't even have a good question. I'm trying to think of a question to ask you, but I can't even do that.
I have an idea, but
Command and Conquer
not...
is an RTS. And also like Red Faction-ish. That's alright. Go ahead. I'm good. Hard pass.
The clue that I had is no longer good. I was going to say Civilization, but that's an RTS. So,
You've never been to arcades, have you?
No. I'm going to go with 17. 17.
What? What's 17? Is it a game?
That's as good as my guess. 17. 17 is my answer.
Okay. I didn't know if that's what you're going for.
Strawberries. That's my next guess.
All right. The notable main character and the face of the franchise is named Marco Rossi. And this original title in the series was co-op with 2 players, and the second player was named Tarma Roving. But Marco Rossi is the key guy.
Nope. I thought I had it for a second. I don't.
Yeah, I thought so too. Nope.
Yeah, it's you, Bert.
18. 18 on that one. 18.
18.
18. That's a good guess. Oh, man. Was that your guess? No. Was that your guess? 18?
Yeah. I'm going to go with 8 at...
the real guess?
He's passing. He's passing.
1, 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You got anything?
Contra?
Okay.
It's
Good guess, but no.
way late.
The latest title in the series is an iOS and Android strategy game titled the franchise name that we're looking for / Infinity, and it released in March of this year.
What?
So meaning it's the game I'm looking for, Infinity.
Oh.
It released in March of this year for phones.
Jeez.
And I believe I'm going into memory here, but I believe we posted about it on the site.
Beautiful. Something Infinity.
And of course, this is question 7. The next couple make it. They help a lot.
19.
Dan's got nothing. You guys aren't even. You got you stumped. I told you it's gonna be harder. What you got, Bert?
Funny enough, I was guessing Contra last time too, but I think those characters were, or at least the box art was Dolph Lundgren and Arnold or something like that, if I remember correctly.
That's fantastic.
Well, yeah, they started back in NES days,
like,
which is way earlier.
Way earlier.
And that was like 88 or something, so it can't be that. Gosh. These are either the worst clues ever, or I've never played this game.
That's what I'm leaning towards.
Played it.
Hot Shots Part 2.
Even if you haven't played it, you'll absolutely 100% know it.
Well, see, now he's
Hot
playing his
Shots.
tune.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you guys played it.
Well, I would think you have. We'll see.
Yeah, you thought we played Gauntlet.
That's
Dude, you guys got roasted for that one. I don't know. All right.
by who? Who did we get roasted by?
Everybody on the internet.
All three people.
In 2001, the main developer of these titles was going out of business. So a new company was formed named Playmore, which took over all of the IP rights to this series. That is until 2016, when the old company was revived and brought back to life.
What was the old company's name? Did you say it in one of the previous things?
No, I certainly did not.
Okay, I gotcha. It's on you, Bert.
It's on me? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
No, it's you, Dan.
I said 19, then he went to him.
No, that was the last one. This is question 8. It is on you, Bert. Sorry.
God, the one that keeps sticking with me is that it's based on main character is based on Saddam Hussein. I don't know any games that have
main
that.
antagonist. The main enemy.
Oh, main antagonist.
I said the main character is Marco Rossi, who's also the face of the franchise. Meaning he's the guy that you see when you think of the series. I know some listeners have gotten this by now.
I'm sure. So you know who Marco Rossi is?
Yeah.
Siphon Filter.
No, speaking of franchises, I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen come back. That's a good one.
Let's do this, Blue Point, but make a whole new game.
Filter. Hey, you never know. That could be. That's a Sony IP, though.
Okay, bring it on.
Hey, you already used that. You got anything?
Can you say that last one again?
Yeah. So the main company who is known for owning this game, in 2001, they were going out of business. So the founder created a new company named Playmore, which took over all of the IP rights to this series. And then in 2016, just a few years ago, the old company was revitalized and brought back to life and is now an active company again.
Is it, my question was, is it a third-person shooter? It's the first game. So
it is the first game in the series. My next... save your question. Trust me, the next one will...
All right, 20.
Okay. So this is on you then, Dan. So this two-dimensional run-and-gun game was created to challenge the player while utilizing only a few buttons. 2D run and gun. So, technically it's third person because you can see your character, but it's not like we would think of third person today.
So it's like Contra then? Is that
2D run and gun game?
All right, well, I guess perspective kind of matters on this one. Is it a side scroller?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I have a guess. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Go ahead.
For it. I'm passing.
Oh, you're passing.
Please get it.
Metal Slug.
There it is. Metal Slug.
Yeah.
Oh,
good job. My final hint was the company we've been talking about is SNK.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Oh, SNK.
I never played. I played Metal Slug, but not very much.
Yeah, I said
Metal Slug is
absolutely know it. Everyone knows Metal Slug.
If you would have given it,
is that
that might have narrowed it down quite a bit.
That was Neo Geo, right?
Well, it was on Neo Geo. It was on in arcades, and then the series has been on like everything. So, and they released an iOS and Android game earlier this year, like I said, called Metal Slug Infinity. But yeah, I couldn't say SNK like early because then you immediately go to Neo Geo. You would have gotten it like right away. So, but if you remember back in 2001, SNK went out of business and the guy created SNK Playmore. Like he created Playmore and then they merged SNK Playmore and then they brought SNK back 3 years ago.
Gotcha.
The funny thing is, none of those clues helped at all until you said 3D run and gun.
2D, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
that's why I said if you knew Metal Slug, you would have gotten it earlier, but I know you guys probably aren't huge fans of it, so.
No.
Anyway. All right, cool. So that was fun. I said it would be a little harder, but I knew you'd get it. So you got on question 9, Bert. Good job.
Nice.
All right, so closing out, guys. As always, thank you for listening. Truly appreciate it. Give us subs, likes, give us feedback. And guys, what we got coming? So I've got Outer Worlds review coming this week for sure. We'll talk about it a little bit longer next week. Because then all three of us can actually talk about it. Probably have completed it by that point and, have a lot of time into it. What else you guys got coming on? I know, Bert, we've got a couple other videos we recorded that'll be coming in the near future. You got anything else you're working on?
No, the Modern Warfare multiplayer review, I should have that done tonight, if not tomorrow morning. It's pretty much done. There was a few extra things I wanted to see, and thankfully the update came through Friday. That really changed a few things, even though they're still not 100% tuned. But yeah, that should be out tomorrow or today.
As you're listening, apparently. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything you're working on?
I'm working on a XCloud video.
Okay.
I've got, I would say, most of it shot already. So it's just a matter of doing a couple little intros or an intro and then a couple little things here and there. I kind of drove around Kansas City in my car and filmed myself doing it.
Filming XCloud on the road. So a true user experience.
Right, yeah. I wanted to see in different areas of, in Kansas City you've got some rural areas and you've got some more urban areas. So I wanted to try those out and see what we could do.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Well, we'll get your thoughts on that as well because we, of course, experienced it, but you've been kind of actively using it and testing it out.
Quite a bit.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks again, everyone. That was Bitcast 80, and we will talk to you next week.